European tour. Which
okay, we're going to continue here because we had a little blurb in the camera. Please continue, Ron.
I have that effect on cameras, but, and girls. Still involved with my rock band Keel, as I was telling you. That's something we do major events. We're actually headlining our own tour of Europe in a couple of weeks. The Monsters of Rock cruise next spring, which is our first cruise ship. It's a rock-themed cruise, which we're performing on.
Tell us the dates of that.
The dates are February 24 through 28, I think, next year, 2012. Going from Fort Lauderdale to the Bahamas to Key West, and we get to entertain on the ship with some of our friends, bands like Cinderella, Tesla, Kicks, you know, just a who's who of those classic 80s rock bands, of which we're proud to be a part of that culture. It was an incredible time.
What have the information in the article about how you can get information on it?
Just ronkeel.com. That's my basic funnel for, you can get the Facebook and the Twitter and the keelnation.com website and all that through my website, ronkeel.com. We try and keep it up to date, try and stay in touch with the fans as much as possible via the social networks that are available to us today. If we'd have had that back in the 80s, we would have conquered the world, or we'd have, I don't know, ended up in jail, or probably. But and my regular job, which you see here, we're in the dressing room at the Golden Nugget, as Mike said, for the Country Superstars Tribute Show, which is the only country music show in Las Vegas. We created this show about 4 years ago because we saw a huge gap. I actually moved here from Nashville to bring a country music show to Nashville, and we've been very successful because, well, we work hard, we got a good product, and we've got the only country music show in town. It's a tribute show where we have impersonators that emulate the performances of people like Brooks and Dunn, which I do. I perform both as Brooks and Dunn and as the Ronnie Dunn solo act, which he's doing now, and that's what you'll see in the show tonight. We've got Garth Brooks and Reba McEntire and Tim McGraw and Willie Nelson, and just a great revolving cast of these impersonators / tribute artists that emulate the hits and the performances of these great country superstars. And so that's where we are now, and at the Golden Nugget. In between that, I do a lot of TV and film work. Just landed a song in a Disney movie that's coming out next year called Dalton Tales, which is a big break for me. You know, Disney's huge, and those Disney animated features, they live on and on forever. My granddaughter's going to appreciate that. She's 3 years old, and I'm sure she's going to love it. A lot of TV and film work, a lot of solo acoustic shows where it's just me and my guitar traveling around singing songs from throughout my career. And as a lot of people know, I've had a lot of dreams come true in both rock and heavy metal and in country music as an original country artist and as a tribute artist now. So I've kind of experienced a little bit of everything in this business, and I'm really happy for the hand that I've been dealt.
Excellent. Well, speaking of doing a solo act and the guitar that I assume is tuned, can you play us a song?
It's in tune, yeah. I can play a couple of songs. I know both of them. I know all. I actually I was trying to figure out what I should do for you, and you know, it's appropriate that I do a song that's on the new Keel album. It's a ballad that we put on the record, and you got to have your power ballad on these heavy rock albums. You got to have a power ballad. We didn't want to make it a chick song or a love song. I wanted to say something maybe a little deeper, and kind of have something with a little bit more of a message. This one's called "Does Anybody Believe?" There was a time when friends were more than people that you knew. There was a way that we could do what we were born to do. There was a way that we could be what we were meant to be. Love was alive and so were we. There's no use keeping score in a game that never ends. Isn't it worth dying for if you never really lived? Does anybody believe in anything anymore? Can you see inside your dreams and wish for something more? Is there anything we want that's still worth fighting for? Does anybody believe? You can find this on the new Keel album, Streets of Rock and Roll. Now there's a space where truth and beauty one time seemed to be. Has time erased win? Is it worth dying for if you never really lived? Does anybody believe in anything anymore? Can you see inside your dreams and wish for something more? Is there anything we want that's still worth fighting for? Does anybody believe? Does anybody believe? Does anybody believe? Oh, does anybody believe? I don't know what it is about singing that makes me sweat. Now I need to shower before the show. One song, I'm breaking out the cold, not a cold sweat, it's a hot sweat. It's hot here in Las Vegas.
That was super.
Oh, thank you.
That was great. So now say the name of that album again.
The name of the album is Streets of Rock and Roll. It's on Frontiers Records. We're really lucky to land a record deal with the premier hard rock label in the world, Frontiers Records out of Italy. They have bands like White Snake, Def Leppard, Journey, Styx. I mean, we're in really good company on this label. They've taken really good care of us and allowed us the time, the budget, and the creative control to make what we feel is the strongest comeback album in the genre. We didn't try and rewrite the book or reinvent the wheel. We went back to our roots in the 80s and gave the fans exactly what they wanted. We're not trying to be modern or current or relevant. We're trying to get people to pump their fists in the air, have a good time with rock and roll, tap your foot. It's all guitar rock, and really proud of that. So I hope that you check that out at keelnation.com, Streets of Rock and Roll on Frontiers Records.
Super, and could you say the name of that Disney movie again?
The name of the Disney movie is, it's not even been announced yet. So they haven't told me yet. I couldn't say it.
I saw a newsreel of
Really?
something. Yes.
Dalton Tales, I believe it's called. It's a new animated feature from Disney. Been really lucky to have a lot of my songs end up in major TV shows like X-Files, Desperate Housewives, a lot of CMT programming, a lot of movies like Men in Black 2 and so forth. So my TV and film career has been very productive and very rewarding. It's great to go to the movies and see your name on in the screen credits. After Men in Black 2, they have 15 minutes of special effects credits. I'm in the theater watching the film, and I stay. If my name's in the credits, I'm staying till the end of the movie to see it. And I'm sitting there, the lights are on, the janitors are sweeping the floor, the Men in Black credits are still rolling, special effects and animations and puppets and all this. I'm not leaving until I see my name on the screen. And then finally it comes up, Speed Demon, written by Ron Keel, recorded by Keel. I stand up in the theater and do this, and the ushers and the janitors think I'm crazy. But that's a cool feeling, man, to go to the movies and see your name on a big screen like that. I know you were asking about a quirk or something strange.
That was a good quirk.
Yeah, that's one of them. But we got many quirks, and kind of like athletes that play on football teams. We have our superstitions, and if something works, and you have a good night, you try and do that same thing the next day or improve upon it. And so therefore, you want to put the camera down here. Not only do I wear socks that don't match, it's one of my superstitions, as you will, before a show, but I wear 2 pairs of socks.
This is a well-kept secret.
White on one foot, black on the other foot, and reverse on this foot, and the white socks don't match, and the black socks don't match. So I have 4 socks on that do not match. You're never going to see that under the boots, but as you dance around the stage in these cowboy boots, the boots get a little loose, so you have to start adding pairs of socks. Maybe we'll go to 3 pairs of socks. The laundry is the hardest thing to do, to keep up with all the piles of socks after the gigs that keep piling up. But we've got our quirks, we've got our rituals. In terms of warming up for the show and getting psyched out and getting ready to perform and entertain, I'm not one of those guys that can just flip the switch. I have to go through a whole total transformation, personally, vocally, mentally, and physically before a show. So we've got our rituals and our things that I do personally that get me ready to go out there, especially when you're doing a tribute gig, because the tribute show that we're doing here at the Golden Nugget, Country Superstars Tribute, is very much like an acting role. I'm portraying this guy, Ronnie Dunn from Brooks and Dunn. And he's one of my all-time favorite country singers, in my opinion, the best country tenor in history. I've been doing Ronnie well, my name is Ronnie, that's how I got the job.
I'm sure that's the only reason you got the job.
Yeah, nothing to do with I look like him, I sound like him, but that is, it's an acting role. So, before the show, I'm listening to Ronnie Dunn's music and voice. watching his mannerisms, even trying to emulate his Oklahoma drawl when I talk to the audience between songs. It's very much stepping out of my boots and stepping into somebody else's boots, which is one of the real rewarding things about the tribute industry, because you get to put on that role, that costume, that persona, so to speak, and it's been very rewarding for me being able to do both. A lot of the people in the tribute industry, it's a very small, tight circle of people that do this and do it well. I mean, you've got really maybe 20 A-list tribute impersonators in the world. I mean, you got the girl that does Cher, and they got a couple of Michael Jacksons, and you've got so that's a very small circle of people that do it well, and are making a good living doing it. Within that circle, you've got a very much smaller circle of people that do it in country music. Especially in Las Vegas, like I said, we have the only country show in town. We've got 9 acts in the show, and pretty much that's it as far as country tribute artists in Las Vegas. There are the people that you see in this picture, and then there's everybody else. So this is the Country Superstars Tribute. We've got Willie, Dead Ringer, #1 Willie Nelson tribute artist, is voted on WillieNelson.com. Willie's fans voted for the best tribute artist that looked and sounded like Willie, and of course he won hands down. Our Reba McEntire, Corey Sachs, is voted Best of Las Vegas in tributes and impersonators. I myself have been nominated the last 2 years for a Reel Award, which is the equivalent of an Oscar or an Emmy in the tribute industry, for Best Country Tribute and Best Country Performer, and so I've been really honored to be in that very select group of company that enables us to come to Las Vegas, starring in a Las Vegas show. You know, I take 2 weeks off, and I'm going to go headline Europe with my screaming heavy metal rock band Keel, getting to write songs for movies and films, and getting to do my acoustic gigs. Last week I was at a place called the Boonies in a town called Dyer, Nevada. 300 people in this town. Of course, I made it a point to make good friends with the bar owner. We go up there four-wheeling and hanging out from time to time, and I became friends with the bar owner. They invited me up to sing for them at this little bar, me and my guitar, a place called the Boonies, literally in the Boonies, 250 miles from anything. And those opportunities that music and you know, this has given me, I can't express my gratitude to the friends and the fans and all our crew and staff and everybody behind the scenes that enables me to live this dream and basically have the same life that I had when I was 17, only now I'm able to pay the bills. Some of them, anyway.
I like it. Well, Ron, thank you so much for your time. I know we're getting close to where you got to go to sound check.
That's right. I have to have a shower now because I sweated out. I just sing a song for you.
We certainly want to get out of your way for that. Ron, thanks again. I want to thank Margene, my wife, for running the camera. I want to thank all of you that took the time to watch this video. We appreciate it a lot. And all this information he talked about, we're going to have in the article. Ron Keel.
Enjoy the show, buddy.
Thank you so much.
Right on.
We will.